Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where you've been missing me for the last couple of weeks, but I've been in Mauritius using my Interbet Mobi site, having a full go, and getting on all the Mauritian and South African racing. It's been fun over there, Blaf. We've had some fun.
It always is fun. I'd love to have gone with you. It's always great out there. But you had fun. There was South Africans out there. There was the delegation out there. There was the Maiden Cup. There was a lot.
Yeah, we'll talk all about it in current affairs because we've got a lot of sport to get through and a lot of bad sport.
Well, the Springboks, he's now played 7, Rassie, lost 4 and won 3. This was a woeful. They got as much confidence as a bantamweight fighting a heavyweight.
Well, you can't have confidence if you keep switching around. Your best players must play.
Yes.
The New Zealanders, the best players play. Okay.
Yes.
Here we got that poor hooker Mbonambi who gets thrown into the deep end. He throws in. That was a throw in that he threw to Matt Tamua. It was perfect. Point, right
absolutely
into
perfect.
His hands. Yeah. And that cost us the game.
Didn't get a point second off, not 1 point. Just remember, they had no Falau, they had no Pocock. The best forward and the best defender weren't playing. They were woeful. We were worse. I've seen better hands on a digital clock. I can't believe how that fullback kept knocking on. It looked like he was playing with oven gloves. It was just, they must have catching practice or something. As you say, James, the bottom line is play your best team. Experimentation's
You
over.
always play your best team. And that is a stupid mistake as far as I'm concerned. Play guys who know they've got to have some game time. No one needs game time unless someone...
He had 7 tests to look at them.
Yeah.
And now he's looked at them.
Yeah. But the point is that I've never seen Steve Hansen pick anything but his best side.
Yeah, and when he changes, it's one player. He brings in a new boy because of an injury. He finds these flying wingers. He finds these great flankers. Guys, we don't know what's happening. We've got players, but there's no confidence. There's no nothing. And we kept saying, change the coach. Change the coach. Going back to Peter de Villiers' day.
We had Snor, you remember?
Who?
Snor de Villiers.
Yeah, Snor de Villiers.
Yeah, and then we had another guy came after him. He
took a flack.
Yeah.
Snor de Villiers took flack.
Snor's laughing now.
Yeah, they're all laughing now, saying we were so bad.
And this guy, the inside track is Rassie Erasmus was deeply involved in both those coaches in the background.
Yes.
Okay, he was a director of rugby or something, but he wasn't a coach. He got the job as coach. He was going to straighten it out. It's a disgrace.
Well, he's got to realise, we're not far away from the World Cup. We've become the laughing stock. Argentina are a way better side than us. How did they have a go at the All Blacks? They had a go. It was a tight game.
Minutes, they were really good.
And they're the best team in the world. They got the best team and the second best team in their reserves. Yeah. Australia are woeful. We're not good enough. England are only good at home at the moment, in and out. Yeah. We beat them 2-1 here, and our side's not good enough. So I don't know what's happening, James. I'm surprised you haven't got a phone call to come play lock for them.
Well, the 2 locks are different class, actually.
Funny enough, they
probably the best 2 locks in the world.
Yeah, they're great players.
The big guy who's just come back, he's fantastic. And then I think the Lions lock.
We have quality. We have some quality.
Is a very, very
We've
good
got some quality, James. I can't have players getting the ball and throwing it forward.
No.
And,
that is pathetic.
To a player in front of them, suddenly it's a scrum to the other team.
Okay, so now what about the soccer? Did you watch some soccer?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I tried to train some horses for Neil Tovey, and he always pops up the yard to look at his horses, and I asked him to get some tickets from my stable lads and that, and he got me 12 tickets. So we gave them a car. My head boy Vusiwa's got a license. We said, away you go. Right. They came home to a man. They said, Bafana not good enough.
Yeah.
And they love their football. They'd rather have gone and watched Chiefs, they said. They said, Keegan Dolly is overseas now. He doesn't get involved in the tackle. Percy Tau is overseas. He's a Brighton player now. Doesn't get involved in a tackle. Krobler's the only guy up front. He's an old-fashioned centre forward.
What about the coach's son, Lee Baxter?
I don't know about him.
Okay, well, nor do I. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about him. But all my grooms, they give me the input, and they said, woeful. Bafana, they said that the crowds are realising they're not going to come unless you go. You've got to have a go. You can't play for your country and come out there and say, well, I'm a quality player. I don't want to get injured because I'm playing next week in England again. You've got to have a go.
Exactly.
And it's an important AFCON game, and these guys weren't good enough. So it wasn't a good weekend for South Africa. Thank God we didn't have a cricket team playing or golfers
all our
on
golfers
site.
are gone. They're all out of the Barclays.
All out the running.
They're all out there running. So what is going on?
I don't know, James.
It's
I don't know.
bad situation.
That's why I'm surprised you didn't get the
Serena
phone
Williams,
call.
did you watch her?
I watched Serena Williams, and I have some empathy or sympathy for her, because I listened to it and I watched it, and obviously, firstly, you never condone anyone throwing a tantrum, regardless of it. But we've seen over the years, from Elena Stasi to McEnroe to
They threw good tantrums.
yeah, they went
a
dilly. They never lost a match or a game point from a violation with the umpire. Why should she? I'm not condoning the behavior. Well done to the girl who won it. She's fantastic. She's young, and she played brilliantly. But be consistent. Be consistent.
And then Djokovic won his third US Open.
Yeah, he's.
I watched the women's doubles, actually. That was a great game.
Okay.
13 seeds beat the second seeds in a tie break in the third set. It was really, really good, Okay. And then I watched the Grand Prix, the MotoGP, Dovizioso. Beat my man Marquez and Lorenzo.
Marquez.
Yeah, Marquez were they were having a proper dice, and Lorenzo took gas. Once that finished in the bush, as Raymond says. Yeah.
As Spielberg says, he finished in the bush. Let's go talk horses.
Yeah, let's go and see 3 to follow. Right, let's go to the Vaal, 4th of September. Mike de Kock got this endless flow of decent horses, and we think this is very decent. He's a dawn approach gelding, but his name is Zabarajad. And, I mean, this was a good run. Let's go and pick him up on the outside.
Yeah, here he is having his debut. It's 1,400 metres, and it's on the outside track, as you can see written on the screen. And it comes out of the gate well, he seems to be ready for it, and the pace is on, but down the inside especially, you see the pace has been put on by Ice Eater. Ice Eater goes very quickly, up the middle there must be Fates there, and your winner Phylos isn't far off the speed either, but the horse we found, Jim, is about 6th.
Well, it's quite interesting to watch this, because this horse absolutely canters up to Phylos. Now, as you'll see, Kamalo on Phylos goes for the doctor early and gives this horse a proper workout to get him home. Schwartz, I thought that he looked like he thought he had them absolutely cold, because this is a beautiful horse. He's obviously got ability. And he moves up to Phylos. He's still got 3 to make up now.
Yeah.
And it looks like no race. But then just greenness.
And funny enough, Dennis Schwartz is going through a purple patch. He's turning out to be a very good rider. A lot of people are using him, and he's riding a lot of winners. I agree with you. Here, I think Dennis must have thought, well, I think I've got them cold.
Yeah, exactly. But now watch Kamalo. Schwartz is still hands and heels. Kamalo goes, and he's got the stick out in the right. Now he pulls it through to the left. Now Schwartz says, okay, let's go, pulls the stick into the left hand. And the other horse has got the got the jump on him. And he's got the stick in the left. He looks like he might be going to get there. Then he tries to change the stick over. And I think that was a big error. Yeah, this horse will win next time.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very good run. And well done to the winning connections of Phylos.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at the second one. And we go to a barrier trial on the 5th of September. This was a Via Solaria. This Dennis Dreyer, he's got into the stream of them as well.
Oh, just talking about that, you cannot believe the bunch of 3-year-olds he's stepping out, Dennis Dreyer. Yeah. They're all there. Oh, he's got a strong string.
Yeah, and this is no different. This is certainly a very, very nice horse. Let's go and have a look at Via Solaria. It's a Trippy, the bred by Maritz Fontaine, Wilgerbos Drift, and owned by the Mitchell family. And this is a very good barrier trial. Drawn 2. Watch the horse on the inside. What horse is that, Laff?
That's Run Rano Run. Run. The horse you found, Via Solaria, gets left a couple of lengths. But Run Rano Run, bear in mind, I think he runs this in about 58 seconds, has won a 15 furlong race by half a furlong. And I don't know if it's just the blinkers and the tongue tie, and he's off and gone. But Frank has managed to get him to be a better horse at the gate where his problems are. We'll see how he does when he races, but that's what barrier trials are for. He stood in the gate a long time. But the horse we found, James, had dropped off to about 4th and now starting to move up again.
Got the white cap. It's next door to another quite a nice debutant, Omjay, 7th Rock. Gary Rich trains us. ran quite a nice barrier trial as well. You can see it's getting pushed out. Veal's just giving it the arms and shoulders, and then he sort of eases this horse up, and short of the line just stands up there. Yeah. And this can run. Yeah. It's a horse out of a parade leader mare. We think that you should be having this in your black book. I thought it was a pretty good run, but Run Rhino Run, very interested in this horse, because I remember a horse that Buddy Maroon got from Durban called Alnitak.
Yes.
And he won a 2,000 meter down here, and they put him back to sprinting, and he used to jump and bowl. And he was a very good sprinter.
He was a very good sprinter.
Maybe Run Rhino runs actually a 1,200 meter horse.
Yeah, it could be. James, and also that horse that Eric Loudon owned, that won the Derby, ran fourth in July. No, not the grey.
Oh, yeah.
With Colin Lee.
Went to Dubai.
That's right.
Yeah.
That came back from running 10 furlongs, became the best sprinter. Won the medallion or the...
gold medallion.
Yeah, it's now called something else, the
Golden Horse Sprint.
Sogo
Sun.
Yeah, it won that by length. So it seems like some of these horses, you bring them back, they can produce the goods. But I think it was a good debut by the runner.
I'd be very interested to see Run Rhino run in a 6 furlong at Scottsville.
Be interesting.
He might actually just be the Springer of the Year. Let's go and have a look at Greyville Polytrack, and 9th of September. Michael Miller, he stepped out a nice one. It's a 7th rock, and his name was Velvet Revolver. Let's have a close look at this.
Yeah, there it is there, James. On the outside is your winner, and that is Roy Regis, the Australian horse, who looked the horse to win the trial. But I was pleased with the speed this horse showed, Velvet Revolver. It's up there, the two of them in front. They're the first two home. They're the first two at the moment. And Ashton Urries does the right thing. Just pulls us back and so it gets a lead from the front-running Roy's Regis.
Yeah, and Roy's Regis has won 2 of his last 3 starts. He's moved stables, I see. He's now with Com Naidu. And he's a Schwazier. He's obviously quite a nice horse. But Velvet Revolver's behind him with the grey cap. And this was probably indicative of how the day's racing was going to be, because not much was making up ground.
No, strong tailwind, James. Yeah. They got as the day went on. But this was very good debut by Velvet Revolver. He looks a smart sort, and he's going to improve.
Yeah, I thought the third horse didn't run badly. Yeah. That's certainly worth having a look at as well. Barrier trials, they are the key, and it should be fun being able to pick these up. Let's go and see what shouldn't happen. When you wear a hat like that, the horse is going to hide its head in shame.
Yeah. These headless horses are lovely horses.
Yeah, they're very interesting specimen.
Yes.
A unicorn and a headless horse.
Yes.
But the kid that's wearing that hat deserves to have that horse hide its head in shame. It's gone. Okay, but you can watch the full unabridged version on www.goldcircle.co.za, which is our website, and it shows the YouTube version of Winning Ways. You should be able to watch that from this afternoon or this evening. We're going to move on and have a look at the plum.
Further back horizon towards their inside. They followed by Tevez, who's now trying to make a rails run. Vincente is deeper out in the track. Olympian is still in front. Now 50 Cents comes forward, and Bernie in the centre of the course now pours on the pressure. Deeper out in the track, it's Rock of Africa. Bernie and 50 Cents, these two have joined issues. They come down to the final 50 now. It's 50 Cents down towards the inside, Bernie the outside, but 50 Cents is claiming the advantage close home. 50 Cents goes on to win it from Bernie. Olympian was back in third. Tevez behind at fourth. They were followed then by Horizon, further back to Rock of Africa.
This was the plum, and for one simple reason, guys out there, you got to look at the form. This horse had run 3 times at Durbanville.
Yeah.
Unbeaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loves the track.
5-1 on Interbet you could have got.
Wow.
Yeah. It started 5-2, but this horse was 5-1.
The Shrudies got on.
They certainly did. He was well weighted in a race like this, except for Tevez, who certainly shows his best at Kenilworth. But this was 3 from 3, little 50 cents. He's a trippy, bred by the Drockenstein team, and he's been a hell of a good horse. He's just goes on. But Richard Fourie, I thought, was to the fore. And what a way to start your weekend racing at Durbanville to back a winner like this. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of current affairs following this.
Best race time odds, transparency of betting markets, friendly and super efficient staff, the ability to negotiate odds, a full service tote with no limits, which is very important for exotic players, loyalty program, speedy withdrawal of funds, full odds, multiple betting, and excellent in-play markets. These are just some of the many reasons that come to mind as to why I believe, as a serious punter, there is no online operator in South Africa that can realistically come close to matching what Interbet has to offer. Put simply, there's no other site like it, and the ability to negotiate odds adds to my fun and enjoyment. Interbet, where the professionals bet.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. We've got some stakes races to show you and races from around the globe that are very, very interesting. And we've got some news as well, Jim. But before we talk about the first race, we're going to show the Maiden Cup. You were over there. You showed me a book, and the crowds that turn up, James, they've got the recipe right.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. Here we are. There's the book. It's got Ennard in the middle of it, the winner. And there's some pictures here of the races, which are absolutely got a whole centre spread. There we are, show the people that can see. Look at the crowd. That's just unbelievable. Anyway, this is Race Time, which is their magazine, the Mauritian Turf Club's official magazine. Brilliant magazine. But what a super, super day out. I've been there a number of times, but it just leaves me in awe as to how the Mauritian people love racing.
Do you think it's just the Maiden Cup, or is it a regular thing?
It's every single week. I got in a taxi, and the guy said to me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, we're in the horses." He said, "Free, no charge." He said, "I'll take you wherever you want to go. You can go free, okay?"
Gee.
And just because we're racing people.
Yeah,
the people that watch Winning Ways, this program, in Mauritius, they watch it on their laptops. I mean, so many people. So that's why I thought we must feature this, because also this weekend, on Saturday, was the big South African race day.
Yes.
And they have the Princess Margaret Cup, which is a Group 1 as well. And it was won by that horse Baritone that was trained by the Snaiths. Table Bay ran third. He was a hot favourite in the race. Robbie Frad's riding there. He's like
is he there for a long stint?
Yeah, he's there for the whole season.
Tristan Godden, is he there?
Tristan Godden, there's
nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. There's a number of South African guys.
JP
van der Merwe. I saw him afterwards at Gajada's. I went and had a drink with them. And afterwards, you have this wonderful atmosphere. If you know the trainers, you go and sit in their stable, have a few drinks, chat to their owners. They then went to Ricky Maingard.
Yeah, always pop
Ricky's the same as always.
Same,
you know, his wife Brigitta makes the best cheese straws you ever eaten. I mean, there's
you're a gourmand of note, Jim.
I know about cheese straws. They are different class.
Yeah.
And I met a whole lot of South Africans, guys who had horses here. Got horses there, you know. It's this country, South Africa, thrives on Mauritian racing. And the only thing that really worried me, and I asked Michel Narak when we saw him, we played golf with him on Thursday or Friday, I said to him, why don't we commingle the totes? Because their tote is quite strong.
Yeah,
the pick six was 1.5 million. He says there's all types of red tape in that. I said it really should be something that we should be working on, because our tote is very weak on Mauritian racing.
Sure.
But everyone can watch it. It's before the races. It's a fabulous opportunity to get involved in Mauritian racing, and the racing is fantastic. Very exciting.
I see they buy good horses, you know, because as you showed the photo, Enard won it now, the Gold Cup horse, Enard. 10 Gun Salute was third. I think he won the 1900.
Yeah, Disco L.
Yeah, Disco L.
Solar Star is a good horse.
You know, so
our Emperor was a horse that won the big race in Cape Town. He was sent
so
over
they come out here and they buy horses and
they very big for us.
Tell me about this winning jockey. We'll watch him in the race. Daniel Stackhouse. I don't know him.
Yeah, he's an Australian young guy. Very nice, very quiet guy, but what a rider! Very good rider. Yeah. You never heard me say that about an Australian.
No, not often. Not often. Should we go and have a look at it? It's called.
Let's go and pick it up. It's in
Cup.
French, but you'll get the idea. We'll pick it up at the 2,000 metre. They go around once more after they go past the winning post. So have a look. Enard's sitting about 5th or 6th, and this guy gives it a great ride. In fact, Robbie Frad ran 3rd on 10 Gun Salute. He wasn't beaten far, but he maybe gave this horse too much start.
En ligne droite pour la première fois, sous l'impulsion de The Great One et Swapnil Ramin qui va essayer visiblement de gérer. Wild Horizon fait l'extérieur de Dawn Raid. En 4e position, il y a Parachuteman, ensuite Saint-Tropez 5e. Soul Star, lui, évolue à l'extérieur de Ten Gun Salute. Enad, en dehors de son compagnon d'écurie, Toc Jaune pour soulever la ceinture Disco Hall. À l'arrière, il y a toujours le duo, à savoir Dream Forest et Our Emperor.
Situation inchangée en tête de cette épreuve. Swapnil Ramin pour l'instant contrôle très bien la course avec Wild Horizon et Dawn Raid. Parachuteman a eu une course plaisante jusqu'ici. Saint-Tropez, Solar Star, Ten Gun Salute se rapproche sensiblement de Solar Star et Nad également qui se démarque de Disco Hall, Our Emperor. Et puis on retrouve toujours en queue de peloton Dream Forest. Et les choses sérieuses vont commencer à partir de là.
Oui, à 600 mètres de l'arrivée dans ce Méden avec The Great One qui peut aller très loin dans ces circonstances. Dawn Raid, il y a Wild Horizon, Parachuteman et Nad qui commence maintenant son effort avec dans son sillage Ten Gun Salute, Tower Emperor, Soul Star également lancé. On tente de s'amener avec Dream Forest qui est maintenant sous pression mais toujours en tête à l'entrée de la ligne droite finale. The Great One accroché par Dawn Raid avec Enad, Ten Gun Salute qui sont lancés.
Voilà, The Great One, Dawn Raid, Enad va-t-il terminer de manière époustouflante? The Great One à l'avantage. Attention, Dawn Raid, Enad, je pense pas, va arriver, non. Il revient en force à l'extérieur, Enad. The Great One, Enad. The Great One, Enad, The Great One. La classe.
Well, Jim, he got quite excited there. The Great One, Enad, and this thing.
Yeah, Gadget, I ran 1st, 2nd, 5th.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
They're an institution there, the Gadget family, and really wonderful win from this horse. As you saw, 10 Gun Salute ran on very strongly But how's the crowd? And when they're leading the horse back in, Ricky introduced a very good innovation there, because the grooms were never allowed to lead the horse back in. And he said the grooms have got to be able to lead the horses in. He said, you know, they work with the horse all day and whatever. And the grooms, the crowd are going absolutely mad. Yeah. You know, just shouting, Enard, Enard, Enard. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And obviously, this horse is very, very popular.
Very,
but
very popular.
It's really should be on everyone's bucket list to go racing in Mauritius, the oldest turf club in the world. You know
That's
that?
right.
Yeah. And,
beautiful, and have a look at that steep hill.
Yeah.
You don't realize it watching TV.
Yeah. And they close the road, the main road through Port Louis for them to work the horses in the morning.
Yeah.
We were there. They start at 4. They finish at 7:30.
Did you get down there? What they're like? Similar to what we do here.
Exactly. Just work them around the track. They come out. They've all got their names on the saddle cloths. All the people are watching there. They film all the
That's why they turn up.
gallops.
That's why they know
because
exactly what's going on.
They know which horse is which.
Yeah.
And they get to see everything. And we went and took a walk, myself and the pilot. We found a pilot there, Michael from Air Mauritius. He was a SAA pilot. And him and I went for a walk into the middle of the track. Now, when you see in the middle of the track...
In the morning while they're working?
No, before the race meeting.
Okay.
Left-hand side, all food stalls.
Must
and
be
I mean,
great,
the food is
great.
unbelievable.
Because you like those cheese sticks.
Yeah, no, I tried everything. You know, that's what I like. Anyway, at the back,
yes,
they've got all these Chinese stalls where they throw darts, you know, from the old arcades,
yes,
and they bet on the numbers they're going to throw. They've got this huge board,
yes,
with all these numbers on them, and if you throw under 13 or over 5, 6, and 3 and whatever,
then you can gamble.
And they're gambling flat out from an hour and a half before the races.
So
we got there early.
If you bring a full power Taylor, you can get the money.
You could have a problem.
You could have a problem, yeah.
But the square is this big.
And James, all those food stalls, are they drink stalls?
No drink. It's just food. Just food and sparlettas or Cokes or whatever.
No bar, open bar.
No. You would be no good there.
I'd have to go back the other side.
Cerveza, you can get beer there.
You can get beer. Cerveza. Dos cerveza, por favor. Yeah.
Okay, we're pushing on.
Let's go and have a look at this race, this Spring Spree Stakes. This is a good horse.
Well, this was postponed from last week because they weren't able to race. And this horse, we thought he was a good horse. He ended up...
We know he's a good horse now.
Let's go and see him from the 800.
Stakes from Tar Heel, and just as I said on her outside, Mrs. O is back in 4th position, gives them 4-length start. They followed further back by Premier Show, then comes Splendid Garden. Finchatton, Chimichurri Run is starting to run on down the inside, got 6 lengths to make up. Angel's Power, Clever Guy, and Talk to the Stars. 300 to go, Wrecking Ball the leader by 2. Down the inside, Chimichurri Run runs on powerfully, then comes Mrs. O. Behind that moves Jared, but here's Chimichurri Run in full cry with 100 metres to go, and Chimichurri Run has made this a formality. Clears away from Mujalad, Splendid Garden and Premier Show. Chimichurri Run wins it easy. Premier Show, Mujalad, Splendid Garden, Angel's Power, and Clever Guy is as easy as you want it.
Well done to Sean Terry. Chris Van got another good one in his hands here. This was most impressive. It came from off them, James, and paralysed him.
Yeah, he's a trippy. He's bred by Drakenstein's 1.1 million rand yearling. Out of that mare, Spice Gold. You remember Stuart Pettigrew trained her.
Yes.
She has a call. She is a very good mare, and she's produced a good horse here.
This is a very good horse, Jim. You know, and has Chris got partners, or is it his own horse?
No, it's his own horse,
Because he doesn't normally go over the million. Chris buys selectively with Sean, and they go 700, 800, 600, and they buy champions. This horse is a very good horse. You must bear in mind the Group 1 winning Pomodoro, they won for their one Gold Cup day. They got the best of both sexes, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really, really top horse. So he won the Umka Mars here by 4.5 lengths, 4 3/4 lengths.
Yeah, very good.
So he's obviously got tons of ability. He's well worth watching through.
Chimichurri Run.
Chimichurri Run. Keep the name. Right, we're going to move on and have a look at the third rerun because we've got...
that big sprint, the Haydock one.
Yeah, it used to call the Betfred. I think it's called the...
It's called the Sprint Cup Stakes now at
Red
Haydock.
32 Sprint Cup Stakes.
Yeah.
Let's go and pick them up. This is from the start, and it's a Group 1, and it's a triumph for a friend of ours, James Fanshawe. You know, nice to see him winning this race again with a very, very good sprint at the Tin Man. Let's go and see.
In, but he's fretful. Getting edgy in stall 3. They're off. The 32 Red Sprint Cup, Harry Angel in a raw blue jacket got away well with Hey Jonesy on the right in the noseband. Then the grey speaking colours with James Garfield in a yellow jacket, Sounds of Marley on the left, working across to Taz Leet with a black cap. The Tin Man in a dark jacket is towards midfield, Ektadar striped cap on the far side. Then back to Don Juan triumphant to the nose-banded Brando. Sir Dancelot, the star on the cap, being pushed along, and Gustav Klimt is last of all, and they're already burning their way down towards halfway. And it's Harry Angel who leads to Hey Jonesy, pursued by James Garfield in third, then Sounds of Marley, the white jacket from Speaking Colours, Ektadar. The Tin Man back in midfield from Taz Leet, and Harry Angel still in front as they head down towards the last quarter mile. Now shaken up by Adam Kirby, asked to stretch. Sounds of Marley, white jacket is picking up, so too the Tin Man. Brando down the near side of the noseband, picking up with Taz Leet onto the last furlong. Harry Angel being claimed by the Tin Man. Brando is still finishing off. Gustav Klimt down the near side. He's been into thunder home in the hands of Ryan Moore. It's the Tin Man with a half furlong to cover. Gustav Klimt and Brando are bearing down on him. The Tin Man driven all out, but he's all heart, and the Tin Man has his day in the sun at Haydock and wins the 32 Red Sprint Cup from Brando and Gustav Klimt. Don Juan triumph.
Well, there we go. The Tin Man, James Fanshawe, Oisin Murphy put it together and won a very good race. Brando, the runner-up, second time it's been in a runner-up in a Group 1. James, this horse is by Equiano. Now, I've got an Equiano who's a very good horse. You know, Majestic Glory for Joan Borsch.
Very, very nice horse.
Yeah, very nice horse. He's a young horse just finding his way. He's also by Equiano.
Yeah.
And this one well, you know, and I think James, he's a good sprinter there. They say Harry Angel couldn't handle the quick pace in dead ground.
Well, I think the ground was heavy, and he's come off quite a long break Harry Angel, and it looked like I caught him the last 150. But what a ride from Oisin Murphy, and I'm so pleased for James Fanshawe. Him and Mark Prescott, you know, great mates, and they keep producing the winners with very little stock. It's unbelievable how these guys win these Group 1s. When they don't really have the big guns, the Abdullahs and all the
very good trained,
Irish connection.
Very good.
Irish ran third. Gustav Klimt, he's quite a good horse. He's there or thereabouts. Talking about England, Enable. Did you see that?
I watched the race, James, because it hadn't run since the Arc, and I thought I've got to watch Enable. And it went at a good gallop, James. It was a 4-horse field. It went at a good. Frankie didn't play around because they've got to get it tight for the big one again, try and win the Arc again. And it was a fantastic win. The second horse is a very good horse. And the second horse gave him a race until the final furlong or so. So it was very impressive.
Yeah, 6-4 favourite for the Arc.
That's right. It's coming from 5-1 to 6-4 after that. And it was very impressive. Big, strong girl. I think she's by Nathaniel.
She is by Nathaniel.
She's by Nathaniel.
You've got Nathaniel as well, haven't you?
No, I wish I had Nathaniel.
Oh, you've got Camelots.
I've got Camelots, Same with Nathaniel. All flying, Yeah, so it
just
was...
talking about good mares, okay, there are two great mares coming up for sale at the end of the year. Lady Ellie.
Oh, yes.
She won a Group 1 from 2 to 5. Every single year she won a Group 1. She was trained by Chad Brown. And she won
like Carry On Ellis.
$2.9 million in stakes.
Fantastic.
And she's in foal to Warfront. Where do you think she's going to go? Whisper Hill Farm? Do you think they might buy her?
There's every possibility.
Mandy? Yeah.
There's every possibility.
She spent 9.6 on Songbird. You know, maybe 10 million.
Yeah, who knows, you know.
Who knows? And Lady Aurelia.
Yeah,
another great sprinting filly. Wesley Ward trained her. She won in England.
Very good.
Yeah, and she's the Scat Daddy. Talking about the greatest filly in the world, Winks.
Yeah, she runs this Saturday. She runs, and what's interesting about the race, James, he said, I'm going to have to throw a couple of stablemates into it. They can't beat her, but they're going to go in the race. And it's over a mile, and I got the name of the race. It's the George Main Stakes. Grade 1. But what I found very interesting, David Payne's got Aces R, who's the High Chaparral, who's won 2 Group 1s for him. It came back and ran second the other day after having a comeback run against Winks. And they're deciding whether to take on Winks or whether to go to the 2,000-metre race on the same day. So this weekend, some very good racing. Nice to see David Payne getting the recognition because a very, very good horse Aces are.
Yeah, I think the Kingston Towns Stakes, it's a Group 2, is what it might go over the 2,000
That's
meters.
right, yes.
And depending which race he runs in, which jockey rides him. It's quite interesting because he's Ty England will ride him if he runs in the Kingston Town. We get those racings. I think it's from Randwick, Royal Randwick.
We get them in the morning.
Yeah,
Saturday morning. We'll be able to watch Winks again.
Watch Winks again, which will be fantastic. So don't miss that. Saturday morning, Winks is stepping up to try and win her 20th Group 1. Not her 20th race, 20th Group 1.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's not even possible.
Yeah.
Just talking about overseas racing, Carice Teeton had a treble.
Yeah, he's changed stables, hasn't he?
Shotton. Yeah. He's now with Tony Cruz. He gets to ride Pakistani Star. You know who that is?
Yeah, it's named after one of the trainers up at Somerville.
No, his brother, I think. Yeah.
Yes, it's his cousin from Lahore. That's right.
From Lahore. Pakistani Star is and Fanny Kirk Purton, not Putin.
He's a good Russian rider, Putin. Putin's very good.
And Purton have both ridden 3 winners, and now Carice has ridden 3 winners, and he's with a strong stable. Carice is well worth watching.
Last year.
Dougie White rode a winner. It was great seeing all these guys going out there and having a go. Interesting to see what happens. Callum Murray broke his nose in his first meeting and soldiered on and got a 2-meeting suspension. So that's why we won't see him.
For riding with a broken nose?
Well, no, he didn't. He rode one very badly. He rode it all over the track. Just want to finish up with New Vacations. It's an all-thoroughbred charity horse show. Okay, New Vacations is a farm set up by the Jockey Club, the American Jockey Club, to give horses a new start when they finish racing.
Good idea.
They've got 350 contestants at this horse show, okay, which is held in aid of charity.
What's it, a fundraiser?
Yeah, it's a charity horse show for New Vacations. New Vacations is a wonderful innovation. And I think you're going to find our man from Hong Kong is going to get involved in the whole thing. He's got a whole lot of plans, and we'll bring
He's a bright boy, He's a very bright boy, Pat.
But he's a great guy, and nice to see that he's getting involved in this type of thing. But they've got a charity horse show for horses that have finished their racing careers.
Yeah.
Should be fun. 8th of September starts if you're in Kentucky. But from us, we're going to go and have a look at Monty Roberts. Monty Roberts is in York Hall, and it's the breaking in season. So let's go and see what happens. Well, for those of you out there who've never broken in a horse, have a look at Monty Roberts. He's the join-up king. That's how he breaks in horses. He is absolutely unbelievable. And I thought we must show this. I think we might have shown one of the other Monty Robertses many years ago.
Refresher, this.
But it's now breaking in season. Watch how to break in a horse properly. Felix Coetzee used to go to Monty Roberts every year. I think he still does.
He's got to Saint-Denis.
Go and sit and ride there with him. Spend a month riding for him. And, you know, Felix was one of the greatest horsemen that's ever been. But Monty Roberts is a revelation. He has made breaking in and horse management an absolute art. And all the big guys, all the best guys, Milan and all of these guys, all use his methods. Let's go and pick up Monty Roberts. It should be a great show.
This horse has been here 1 week. Yes, he's been in this pen. I have not been in this pen with him at all. This horse is 24 months old. He's puro sangre. He is thoroughbred all the way. He's beautiful. He's very mature for a 24-month-old baby. He's raised on a farm that is a client of ours that sends them here for their first rider and the first saddle, first rider. And I have no idea what he's going to do. He's healthy. He's about 1,200 pounds or so. And he's fast. And he's raised under traditional horsemanship. So he gets a bit of physical discipline, if you will. But in watching the last group that came in, it seemed that he would tolerate, thank you, that's backwards. It seemed like he would tolerate, he's going to look around and wonder about you all because you're kind of funny looking people. And he's a horse. So he has his eyes on the side of his head. The side of his head. This eye cannot see, not like us with our eyes on the front of our head. This eye takes care of this side, this eye, this side. Okay? And he knows immediately that I'm a predator. My eyes are in the front. He knows my body. He knows my pulse rate. He knows it. And I know his. He came in here at a pulse rate about 80 to 90. I'm just going to introduce him to the center of the pen here. And he'll do that. And I've got people here that know all about that. Why do they do that? Every time you go to an auction sale for young horses, and every time they come in the sales ring, they empty their gut. Why do they do that? You know, some of you have been to the races, and you know this race they call a handicap. What is a handicap race? Well, it's where the racing secretary wants betting, so they say this horse will carry 120 pounds, and this horse will carry 122, and this one will carry 128, and he tries to weight them so that they all will arrive at the finish line at the same time. So the betting, there'll be a lot more betting on them because there's no long favorites. That's not the kind of races that most of you watch on television. I'm going to have the little voices like that will really catch his attention. It's not the kind that you watch on television because those are the big races and they're not handicaps. But the handicap races are put on for the bettors. And a pound on a horse will slow him up in a mile about a half a length. 2 pounds, 1 length. 3 pounds, a length and a half, etc. So when these horses are grazing in the middle of a big area, and they happen to smell a lion coming, or a tiger, or a grizzly bear, if they are sharp, and remember that every horse is hypervigilant, and they all have post-traumatic stress, they live to be food for the predators. They only eat grass. They've never killed another species. So, before that lion gets there, they empty their gut. That was about 3 pounds. Go figure. All he has to beat is one horse out of the meadow, and the lion eats the other horse. So these horses are survivors of the fittest, and they know what they're doing. Emptying the gut is a manifestation of an elevation of adrenaline because he's looking up there at all these strange faces. He's never seen anything like this before. He's never been in this place with the lights on before. He's been in here, but not with the lights on and not with an audience like this. So I'm just going to take this line off of him now and slap my leg, and he'll go away from me. Eyes on eyes, shoulders square. I'll just pitch that line out and say, go on away, because they're flight animals. I'm giving him a chance to express his flight tendencies. So he'll leave me. Now, so he leaves me. And he's happy about that, because I kind of worry him anyway. And he's never met me before. That's the first time I've ever touched him right there. But I know my business enough that I know that this horse is a horse. And that means that for 50 million years he has studied his own communication system. And I've discovered it. Eyes on eyes, shoulders square, fingers open, he goes faster. I'm going to show you the other way around, and I'm going to predict for you the conversation that he'll have for me. He's going on the right lead now. Look at the right legs are going the greater distance, leading to the inside. I'm going to change him and ask him to go the other way. Now he's leading with the two left legs, leading on the inside. That gives him the most chance to run fast. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. All cows run disunited, left in front, right behind. God made them that way so they couldn't outrun the horse and we could catch up to them. It's true. It's true, they do it anyway. I don't know if God had anything to do with it, but they cross lead or disunite. So he's going on the left lead now. Two left legs. I'm going to turn him around and go the other way for his psychological. See, he's looking at me with the left eye. And he's already seen me with the right eye. But this is the first time he's seen me with the left eye. Now I'm going to put him back in the original direction that he traveled. Watch how he'll be more relaxed, because he's been here before, and he'll go slower. Watch how he will put this ear on me and then lick and chew. Yeah? Put this ear on me. Try to keep the little voice down. The other ear will listen to the rest of the world. And he'll lower his head right down by the soil. Four gestures we're looking for. The ear, licking and chewing, lowering the head, and making a smaller circle, which he hasn't done yet. We're looking for 4. 3 we've had. There's the lowering of the head. It's like I need a leader. Deference to me. He says I'm important in his life with his ear. The licking and chewing, manifestation of the lowering of adrenaline. Now he's ready to almost to do join up, but he hasn't done his smaller circle coming off the wall. He's just thinking about it now. So I'm just going to send him on a little bit and let you see that I can predict what he's going to do. There's the smaller circle. Coming off the wall a little, hanging that head over and looking at me saying, "Can I come closer to you? I'm just a poor horse. Look at that." There's the smaller circle. There's the smaller circle. Just as plain as day. Now watch when I open my hand. You don't have to hit a horse to get him to go faster. I can open my hand and pick his speed up immediately. Just the cat's claw. Open like that. And watch what happens. I'll keep doing it until I get him right on up to the canter. Like that. And then watch this now, and I'll drop my hand down, close my fingers, bring my hand down across my body, and I can pull him right down to a stop. That's World Book was right up here, and Britannica, and they now say, "Ooh, there is some work being done that might indicate that there is a language, that there is a communication system between horses," not a language, communication system between horses and humans. Watch now as I open my fingers. Now, if a deaf person was that adept to watching the signals, the gestures that you make, you would call it communication. Sure enough. So all 4 gestures are in clearly. And I'm ready to do join up. And I tell my students to try to do join up at 12 o'clock. It's the top of the clock. And 6 o'clock is the gate, the bottom of the clock. And their tendency is to drift toward the 6 at the bottom of the dial. That's another thing. But watch this now. I've been eyes on eyes, shoulder square, and I'm going to go passive and see what he has to say to me. Shoulders on a 45, fingers closed. There's the moment of join up. Perfection. And I rub him as an instant consequence positive. The pick. This is the pick. The nick has been done. Now he's happy. The pulse rate has fallen now just over 50 probably. And I'm just going to walk away from him now and see where he wants to be. When the professionals first saw this in the late 40s when I was showing it, man, I was ostracized. And after I wrote a book about it and identified it, after 11 World Championships, I was thrown out of the Hall of Fame because I didn't respect tradition. And that's okay. If you have to respect tradition to the extent that you can't improve, then I don't want to be in their Hall of Fame. They even threw my horse out, my best horse out. Can you believe it? But I mean, my life was threatened 3 or 4 times a week for a year or so after my first book came out. Now this horse is so happy with me that there's just no getting away from him. He wants to kiss me. That's a good boy. Now, how many times does this happen? What you just saw? Every time. If we get it right, if I get it right, every time it happens. But don't some horses do things wrong? Really? We would blame them if they did something wrong, wouldn't we? They can't do anything wrong. They only have 2 goals in life. One is to survive and the other to reproduce. And he's only thinking about survival. But to blame a horse for anything, use of whip, use of tying his legs, hammering on him the way they do with so many times, twitches on their nose, grabbing their ear and holding them for whatever they want to do. To blame a horse for anything is like blaming the night for being dark. Their actions have to be natural, normal. They can't do otherwise. They can't plan against you. They can't do anything against you. When they walk to you, it's because they want to walk to you. I'm not making him do it. I can turn him loose. There's no demand here whatsoever. And he wants to be with me. And the scientists are going crazy now because it goes against a lot of what they taught for so many years. We're going to get on the people carrier now and go to the house, and I'm going to be with you all through dinner. So I'm going to answer a lot of questions up there. Thank you very much.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.